One Punch Man webcomic, chapter 110. Yes, it is true, One has finally returned to the webcomic, and I think the last time he updated it was like January of 2017, so it's been a little over 2 years at this point, and that was mainly because he was working on Mob Psycho, finishing that up, but he was also giving the storyboards for the One Punch Man manga. So yeah, One has been busy, he just didn't really have the time to put into the webcomic like he used to. But now that Mob Psycho is over, it seems that he is returning full-time to the webcomic. I don't know what the updates will be like with this. Maybe monthly, maybe bi-monthly. I'm not really sure. We'll just have to see what happens with this. Also, everyone listening, this is way further into the story than what the manga currently is. So there's going to be a lot of spoilers going on in this review. So if you're not familiar with the webcomic, feel free to read it. It's a quick read. It moves very fast. A lot of fun, but also you're going to be spoiling yourself for what is going to happen in the manga. But other than that, let's get into it. So we're opening up this chapter with Snack talking to this random Hero Association dude about the murder of a low-quality manga artist by the name of Warren. And Warren is just an alias for One. This whole sequence is like One kind of taking the piss out of himself for not updating the chapter for over 2 years, like what I talked about in the beginning. But aside from this all being like a gag, it's also introducing us to the main storyline that is going on in this chapter, and more so the whole storyline of what this arc appears to be about. But we'll get more into that later. So the whole murder thing is more of a red herring. It's kind of just to have Snack run in circles just to keep him occupied and to keep the attention off of the Hero Association, because it's revealed by Child Emperor that this monster, or whatever the murderer of Warren is, was already eliminated like 1.5 years ago, and that they've been recycling this case to heroes, because it turns out that the Hero Association has like this secret black market monster trade going on, where they'll sell monsters as like pets or just like trophies in a way to people. And apparently one of these monsters that they had sold like got loose and killed the manga artist by the name of Warren. But apparently, like I said, that monster was already taken care of because Child Emperor had looked into it. And speaking of Child Emperor, he is revealing another bombshell in this chapter, one of many, and that he is leaving the Hero Association to join the Neo Heroes. So yes, he is the first confirmed hero that is leaving the Hero Association at this point. So much speculation was going into this before this chapter because, like I said, we haven't got an update for 2 years, so we kind of just were left like wondering what heroes were going to join the Neo Heroes, and like immediately we're finding out it is Child Emperor, and apparently he is leaving because he is unhappy with the way things are with the Hero Association. And before this, we saw the chapters leading up to this show that Child Emperor was already kind of on the fence about the Hero Association and everything, more specifically about Metal Knight and Blast, how he talked about how he acknowledges their superiority and that he respects them, but they still never come to help him. They kind of just do their own thing. And the Hero Association is kind of like the same way. They don't even want to take Child Emperor's considerations into regard or anything like that. They kind of just brush him off to the side. And all of that in combination with the black market stuff has pushed Child Emperor over the edge, and he is just leaving the Hero Association because of all of that. He's just fed up. But also, when he relays this information about the black market stuff to Snack, it really pisses Snack off, and it makes me wonder if Snack is also going to lead the Hero Association as well. It seems very likely at this point, although Snack leaving isn't really that big of a bombshell like Child Emperor leaving. It's hardly significant at all, but it just seems like this is important for some reason. Maybe Snack tells other heroes about this stuff, and they wind up leaving with him as well, because if we see like a whole bunch of heroes leaving, like let's say like over 100 low-class guys leaving, that could be a pretty big deal, but that remains to be seen at this point. But other than Snack, we are also finding out that Metal Bat is also leaving the Hero Association to go to the Neo Heroes. Yes, this is a huge deal, because we know Metal Bat is one of the stronger heroes. We have yet to see his full potential. So Metal Bat going over to the Neo Heroes is a huge loss for the Hero Association. And it's also a huge surprise to me. I don't know about you guys, but I did not expect Metal Bat to be one of the heroes to leave the Hero Association. So when we see Metal Bat roll up to the Neo Heroes tower, I guess, we see that it's gigantic, like just as big as the Hero Association. Not as girthy, of course, but it seems to be just as tall as it. And Metal Bat raises an interesting question when he sees the tower. He's like, where did they get the money to build this? And that's a good question, because it's like, where did they get the money? And that raises another question of who is behind the Neo Heroes? Because before this, we don't really get any kind of information on that. We only see the recruiters going after the heroes, talking to Raiden and Excel and stuff, but we never really find out who is behind all of this. They give us vague answers as to like who put this together and whatnot, but we don't have like names. We don't see people like. So I guess more and more of this information is going to be revealed as the chapter goes on, but it's really intriguing stuff. So when Metal Bat goes into the Neo Heroes base, we're getting another huge bombshell in this chapter, and it is also revealed that Super Alloy Darkshine has also left the Hero Association. Oh my god, this is huge! So we've got Child Emperor, Metal Bat, and Darkshine immediately leaving the Hero Association to go to the Neo Heroes. Man, this is huge. But it also turns out that Darkshine isn't going to be like an active hero anymore. He's kind of just there as an instructor and a sparring partner to help build up heroes and whatnot. Because that's something that the Hero Association didn't have. The Hero Association kind of just recruited any guys who were able to be heroes, like who could pass the test and whatnot. And then they kind of just throw them out to the wolves in a way. They don't give them any training or anything like that. It's kind of just like, all right, good luck, hope you don't die, and then we'll pay you if you live, I guess. But it seems like the Neo Heroes are taking more of an approach to the heroes, kind of like how My Hero Academia does. Like they're recruiting talent and then they're training them and building them up to be able heroes. They're not just throwing them into the deep end the way that the Hero Association does. So this is another reason why the heroes are joining the Neo Heroes, because they're having a better approach to heroism in general. And also apparently they're open to suggestions and more things like that as to what Child Emperor says. And that's the main reason, well, one of the main reasons he left the Hero Association, because they were just not open to any kind of suggestions or anything like that from Child Emperor. So you might be asking, why is Darkshine stepping down from being a hero and just becoming a trainer? Well, we kind of get some insight into this in the previous chapters leading up to this. I think chapter 107, when Darkshine's like training and he has like this mental lapse and he just can't go any further. And he says that whenever he keeps thinking about his next fight, he just gets terrified. He just gets scared. So it seems like his fight with Garo and just the whole Monster Association arc in general has kind of broken Darkshine, like, beyond repair, it seems like at this point almost. Because we saw that was Darkshine's main weakness. Like, he just breaks mentally if things aren't going his way. And it seems like after his beating to the hands of Awakened Garo, he has received, like, some kind of PTSD. This might mean that this is like the only time Darkshine has ever lost to a monster. So we know that Silver Fang whooped, Darkshine pretty good in training, but like in an actual fight, like to the death against a monster, and we know that Awakened Garo wasn't trying to kill him, but I'm just trying to say, like, the beating that he received, it just crippled Darkshine mentally, and he's just unable to come back after that, so he's just going to be a trainer for the Neo Heroes. I mean, hell, he's even wearing clothes in this chapter. I think this is the first time we see him wearing clothes in the series outside of like an OVA. So I'm really interested to see where Darkshine's character goes after this. I don't think he'll be benched the entire arc. I assume that he will come and fight eventually, but just for now, it seems like he's just going to be like a supplementary aspect to the Neo Heroes. So the last person we find out in this chapter to be crossing over to the Neo Heroes from the Hero Association is that eye patch guy McCoy. He was apparently the second operations section chief of the Hero Association, whatever that means. But this guy's role in the story is kind of odd because we don't really see him that much. So in the manga, we randomly see him in the Pork Cutlet Bowl bonus chapter. This is the bonus chapter with Saitama and the cops. The whole aspect that McCoy had in that chapter was kind of like a foil to the police. Like, he was just trying to put them down, trying to make them seem like second class enforcers to the heroes. He wanted them to embarrass themselves in order to get help from the heroes, but then Saitama was like, nah, you guys are cool, I'm going to show you the way. And then that kind of ruined McCoy, whatever he was trying to do. So that kind of was showing us that McCoy's not a good guy. He's like a dirtbag, essentially. And we further saw him, I think, also in Chapter 107 as well, when he approaches some Hero Association dudes, and he's like, hey guys, let's talk about how things can get better. So I assume that this was like his plan to just leave the Hero Association so he can get a leg up in the Neo Heroes, because it's revealed that he is an executive now for the Neo Heroes. So he might have brought some Hero Association blue-collar guys with him as well, although that remains to be seen. So then McCoy just puts the hype into overdrive in this chapter, because as he's talking to Darkshine, Child Emperor, and Metal Bat, he's like, all right guys, let's go to the meeting room, because we're having a meeting between people worthy to be called S-class heroes. And as they walk into the room, it cuts away from that, and we don't see what happens. So I think we might see in the next chapter who these so-called S-class hero level guys are. So I assume that one of them is going to be Raiden, that Yokozuna sumo guy. We might see Excel in there, although it's really debatable if he is literally S-class level. But then other than that, we might see some new guys, like new super powerful guys that we haven't been introduced to before, that the Neo Heroes just randomly scouted. Or we might be introduced to the rest of the heroes from the Hero Association who have gone over to the Neo Heroes. So you might be thinking like, oh, is Suiryu going to be in there? Well, it's kind of hard to tell if he will be, because Suiryu isn't in the webcomic originally. He's only in the manga, but of course he is also a character invented and created by One. So it's possible that One just throws Suiryu into the webcomic at this point and just says, screw the rules. You know, now he's in the story, and then we just get put up to date with him as, like, he drops some exposition on us or something like that. Also, One has drawn what Suiryu would look like in the webcomic, so this possibly was showing us that, hey, he is going to be in the webcomic eventually, and I think the Neo Heroes arc is, like, the perfect introduction for his character. So, you know, is he going to be in the Neo Heroes? Well, it's possible. Because, you know, he wouldn't be a fan of Saitama at this point if we're just skipping over the whole Super Fight tournament, where we got character development on him and further showed that he was like a stand to Saitama. So based off of that, I would have assumed that he would have stayed in the Hero Association. But if we're just bypassing all of that, it seems like Suiryu might just straight up join the Neo Heroes. But like I've been saying, this is all just speculation. We don't know what's going to happen yet, but man, I am so looking forward to seeing who the rest of these S-class worthy guys are. Now let's get into the ending of this chapter, because if you thought the bombshells were over, they aren't. We still have one more gigantic thing to get into, and that is King encountering Silver Fang. So King randomly shows up to Silver Fang's dojo, and we found out in the previous chapters, I think also chapter 107 as well, that was a pretty meaty chapter, that Silver Fang has retired from the Hero Association, and that he also only joined the Hero Association to promote his dojo. So now Silver Fang has retired. He says that his back hurts or something. That could be insight as to him becoming weaker. And also he just wants to train the new generation with his brother. So he's just, sitting on the sidelines at this point, and King shows up, and King just starts dropping bombs of things like letting Silver Fang know that he is essentially weak. He's pretty much saying it here, and he's assuming that Silver Fang always knew that King was weak. But Silver Fang never really gives like a real answer to that, so we don't know exactly how Silver Fang truly feels about King at this point. But he also goes on to ask Silver Fang to train him, so I don't know where this is going. Is King going to become more skilled? Is he actually going to be able to defeat a monster? I don't think so. I remember One saying many years ago that he didn't want King to become physically strong, like he didn't want him to have tangible powers or anything like that. But this was many years ago, so it's possible that One is changing his mind here, and maybe he does want King to become like genuinely strong. Although, how strong can King become in a couple weeks or a couple chapters, really? I think this is leading us to something more, but it's really hard to tell what's going on here. But it is pretty damn significant that Silver Fang is finding out that King is weak here, because I think this is the only other instance of a character besides Saitama knowing that King is weak. So this is pretty huge, and I can't really figure out where things are going here. We just kind of have to find out what's going to happen. But that's pretty much it for the chapter, guys. Please let me know what you think about this in the comments. God, I can't wait for this Civil War. It is getting so hyped up right now, and I'm too excited for it. I really hope one decides to update this webcomic more frequently. You know, I'll take 1 month at a time at this point. That's fine, but bi-weekly would be godly. But you know, we'll just see what happens. But if you like the video, guys, please give it a like. I also have a Patreon, gives you access to a Discord, and a weekly Q&A video that I do on this channel. And if you haven't already, please subscribe as well. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll see you in the next one.